It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Joined by John from Lord's Brewing Company.
How are we doing?
How are you doing, John?
All right.
Now we're going to be doing a live feed. We just set up the live feed. We've got all our lights set up. Live feed at the brewery, Lord's Brewing Company tonight. But this is a little introduction to something a little bit special. The next time you'll see me, we'll be in the kitchen in my house unboxing.
I'll get it for you.
John's running over to get it. John's very, very kindly got a great relationship going on with the people at BeerMonster.
Haha!
And he's got me a BeerMonster machine. Isn't that so cool? So we're going to take this home in a few days. We've got a few days.
We've got a few days up here, yeah.
Having fun in Yorkshire first. We're going to get this home, get it reviewed, and next thing we're going to be in the kitchen. We are in the kitchen. It's time to get this BeerMonster machine out. So first of all, what I can see here is quite neatly packed. You have all of your different fittings and gas canisters, which are really cool. Now I see these this is quite a large gas canister actually. You see these rolling around in the streets, don't you, with those what do they call it, the cigarette machines that they use, the blowing smoke everywhere, especially in the winter time. You see people blowing smoke at train stations. It's like a big plume of smoke. Well, they use that similar gas cartridge. Right, so that was quite a interesting start to the unboxing, just having everything on hand. I kind of like that. Here is the machine itself. There we are. Here is the BeerMonster machine itself. It looks quite nice actually. So here we go. I've already got a extension lead ready to plug this in. Let's see what happens. So a little fan kicks in. I'm not sure if you can see that over there. We've got a fan and 11 degrees on the dial here. So we're going to knock that down to 2 degrees. I've just watched a BeerMonster video on their own YouTube channel, and they suggest to have the machine on for 8 hours, 8 to 12 hours before you want to drink a beer. It's quite a long time. Now, there's the tap. I'm going to be comparing this to machines that I have. I've got a Perfect Draught, I've got a Blade, I've got a Krups the subcompact. We've also got another fantastic machine. I like a proper professional machine. So the Krups takes about an hour for the green light to go on. The Perfect Draught, you can throw a keg in there straight away as long as the keg's cold. Same as this. We have a cold keg in the fridge for this machine. And the Blade beer, of course, this Blade beer retails for £460, so it's an awful lot more money, but you can put a keg in there straight away. So opening the machine up then, it says to turn the dial down to 0. So you've got bits and pieces in here, the lines, we've got a little pump thing. I don't know what that's for. Maybe this is for cleaning. We'll have a. I think what we'll do, we'll have a look and see what this is exactly for. But I think this is part of the cleaning kit. And I just, wow, a couple of tiny. Be careful. There's a couple of tiny little bits and pieces here. These are the different keg fitments. If you get a different keg, different size keg fitments. Yeah. So, where are we going to go first? I think we are going to fit the gas. So, where do we see? Oh, we fill it with water, don't we? So you put on the inside of here, you've got a max thing to fill it with water. So we're going to fill this cup of water. We're going to need a little bit more. That's about right. Okay, so I'm going to be back in a bit. I'm going to let this cool down a little bit before we get going. But come back when the stage is set for to get the keg in. Okay, so the next job is to fit your gas canister. Make sure the dial on the top of the machine is turned. On the back here you'll see there's a dial. Make sure that's turned down to 0 or minus, and then you simply take the cover off that's fitted there. Take the cover off, you grab your gas canister, you'll see a thread on the inside. You simply screw the gas canister in, put the cover on, and then that slides up to the top. Next thing we're going to do is grab the beer out the fridge. Now I've had my beer in the fridge for about 3 days, so it's going to be nice and cool. It is of course, it's a Lord's Brewing Company. This is their Ape Mafia American IPA, 4.2% ABV. So what you're going to want to do is, I'm going to just flip the camera down into the sink, like so. We're going to turn it to open over here. Be very careful with the kegs. Don't shake them around too much before opening. So there wasn't too much gas there at all escaping from that. You've got a handle to lift the keg into the... So I think what we're going to do first is rip that off, like so. Fit your handle that comes in the box. There you go, that fits over there like that, so you can lift it up. And then that simply pushes down into the beer like that. Boom, we're done. So will that lift? Yep, that'll lift. I'm going to put the camera back over to the machine. Close up of me first thing in the morning. And yeah, here we go then. Keg, water's in there. We're all set to go, really. So lift the one tube up out of the way. I noticed that straight away, that was going to get in your way. That's gone down into the water. You simply grab the back part here, fit that on the front, on the back even. Fit this one on the front, and look at that. So we're all lined up, all set to go. Close your lid. Now they're saying on the back here, this is for the gas pressure. When you pour a beer, if you're not having too much of a good flow, you can increase the gas just to force the beer out into your glass. So let's grab a glass. I think I'll do American IPA, so we'll use a nice American IPA style glass. And here's the moment of truth. I am going to say at this point, I haven't waited that 8 hours for the machine to be on, simply because the keg's been in the machine in the fridge for 2 days, and I haven't got that 8 hours. I haven't got the 8 hours. Oh, drip tray. Drip tray. Here we go. I got the BeerMonster YouTube music in my head now. Right, drip tray into position. So this machine, if you want another cost, I've just been on the BeerMonster website. You can pick this up from BeerMonster for £149 at the moment, which is pretty cool. There's the drip tray. How does that go then? It just kind of slides into position. Moment of truth. Here's the beer. We're in shot. So not much at all, so we're going to increase the gas. Whoop. There we are. The beer is now being forced into the glass. We're on full pour now. So for £149, comparing this to a Krups, comparing this to a Perfect Draught, comparing this to a Blade beer machine, we're gonna give you our full honest review of this machine now. Here's a look at the beer. Nicely kind of looking beer here. Not much of a head on it. It's an American IPA. Smells like an American IPA. Oh yeah, and that tastes like an American IPA. Lovely. Really nice, and of course, really nice and cold. It's been in the fridge. My thoughts, right. The handle, the chrome, I'm not sure if it's plastic or chrome, it feels like a plastic nozzle on here. You have to use gas cartridges. The Perfect Draught comes in at, when I bought my machine, it was £220. You simply fit a keg, bam, and you're away. This is a £70 cheaper machine. It looks like a Perfect Draught. It sits in the kitchen rather nicely, to be honest. It looks pretty cool in the kitchen. It doesn't look out of place. In fact, that's going to look amazing in my bar. But then you've got the added purchases. You've got your gas bottles to buy. I watched one video where they're saying your O-rings. There's certain kind of like bits and pieces that are you're gonna have to replace on when you change the gas. Apparently it splits, the seal splits, so you've got to buy parts for that. So you've got to buy the gas, you've got to buy little gaskets. The plus point, you're not tied to any beer machine. What I mean by that is, if you buy a blade, you can buy the blade kegs. When I bought my blade machine, there was only 2 kegs on it. There's now 15 to 20 kegs already, so the variety's been expanded all of the time. But you're tied to Heineken. Krups, the subcompact, you're tied to Heineken. The Perfect Draught, you're more or less tied to AB InBev, and they'll bring in some kind of magic rocks and your dark art stout and your tiny rebels. So it's down to you, really. What I'm saying is you can pop to your local beer brewery, supermarket, and pick up whatever keg you want and fit it to your BeerMonster. It's very flexible in that way. Very, very flexible. Likewise, you can put a mini keg in there. You've got all your little fittings for your mini keg. I think it's a cool bit of kit. A cool bit of kit. If you're not... I think this is a beer machine for the casual user. If you're kind of like a supermarket, kind of go and grab your beer, go and grab yourself a mini keg or you know, different 5-litre mini kegs for your machine. If you want a Budvar, or you know, Christmas time you get Budvar in Morrison's, then you can go and pick it up. I think if you're a little bit more serious with your beer machines, I think, willing to spend a little bit more money, then I think I would still go Perfect Draught. I would still go Blade. But I would say this is a better machine than the Krups, the Sub Compact. And the Krups, the Sub, by the way, is £120. So this is only £30 more with your hard-earned cash, £149. It's all right. It's all right. It's quite a kind of cool bit of kit. But like anything in life, I think you get what you pay for. You get what you pay for. You get your little kind of gas canisters that you have to add. It's a Chinese machine. It's a Chinese machine that's been rebranded by BeerMonster. That's the truth of it. If you're happy to buy the gas canisters, if you're happy to buy broken seals, if the seal goes where you put the gas canister in and you're leaking gas everywhere, then that's what you've got to kind of put up with, I think, for that price point. But on the plus side, again, it's rather cheap at £149, and you can put whatever keg, 5-litre mini keg, in this machine that you so wish. Yeah, it's one of those. It's one of those, I think. It's one of those where you're either going to love this machine or you're not going to love this machine. I think by this far into the video, if you're still watching, you're going to already know if you're going to purchase a Perfect Draught or a BeerMonster machine or a Blade machine. But it's a nice, it probably work out as a nice, really nice Christmas present, I think. I'm going to rate it. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10. It's quite a nice stainless steel wrap on it. Quite a sturdy kind of handle on it. You've got your beer temperature display on the front of the machine. Yeah, it's pretty cool for the money. 7 out of 10. Thanks to John at Law's Brewing Company, by the way, for sorting us out with the machine. Really appreciate that. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom! Cheers.